So, I am generally always behind the times. I didn't discover Westworld until this past summer. I heard a lot about it but never watched it. When I finally sat down and watched it, I thought it was incredible. The first season more so than the others. After the first episode finished, I was totally hooked. Obviously, one of the things that struck me the most was the music. I already knew Ramin Djwadi was a fantastic composer after watching Game of Thrones, so I was excited when I found out he also composed this soundtrack. I think the soundtrack is great, but after digging into it a little deeper, I found out how cool it really is. I enjoy finding deeper meaning to a soundtrack. All of the opinions I'm going to share are just that, my opinions. You're welcome to your own thoughts, and I welcome any discussion you might want to have. And of course, I will be spoiling a large majority of the first season, so if you aren't caught up, don't watch this video. Let's start with how every episode begins, the main theme. Firstly, it just sounds so good. There's something about it that made me never want to skip past it. I skip past a lot of intros to shows, but not this one. But I'm going to dig a little deeper. There are two parts to this main theme. This part, and the underlying part here. Now, bear with me, this is going to get a little crazy. This secondary part has a weird glitch-like quality when he moves the melody back 1/16th note, as shown here. There is definitely a moment of foreshadowing. Something is going wrong in that moment. Another thing this soundtrack does so well is making a difference between the use of real music as opposed to the technological sounding synthesized music. It is so cool how the music switches so seamlessly from real music to the more technologically based synthesized instruments. Most of the time when this happens, it's to switch between the park versus our outside world. Or when something happens in the park that reminds us that the hosts are machines, not real humans. My favorite example of this is the first time that we realize that Westworld is an amusement park. As the camera pans out, you can hear the music switch fluidly to technologically synthesized music. It's really cool how that happened. There is pretty obviously a strong musical connection to the first season. Often this comes in the form of the player piano in the saloon. The most notable part is the Sweetwater theme. On the reset of A New Day in the Park, the piano kicks off the familiar theme of the town. But this theme is used for more than just starting over a new day at the park. It is also used a lot in new situations when something new is happening. My favorite example is the first time William sees the park. We hear this arrangement of the Sweetwater theme. There's so many different variations of this. It's really cool how Mr. Djwadi had so many ways of changing it up, making that melody mean something different. There are plenty of reoccurring themes in this show. But while researching this video, I found one that is very subtle, but hugely important to the plot. The piece Reverie by Claude Debussy is used several times in the first season. If you recall, they called the gestures that Ford added to the hosts reveries. It is eventually learned that this was in fact Arnold's work, and it is the reason that there is so much trouble with the hosts. In this case, the piece Reverie is used to represent Arnold. It is his son's favorite piece. We hear this piece many times throughout the first season. The first time I found it is when Bernard is talking to Dr. Ford about Arnold in the 3rd episode. The second time is at the beginning of the 7th episode, when Bernard is remembering his son in the hospital. This is foreshadowing the reveal that Bernard is a host and that he is modeled after Arnold. The next is in the 9th episode, when it is revealed that Teddy killed all of those people, foreshadowing the reveal that he and Dolores killed all of those hosts, and that he was made to believe someone named Wyatt is the one who did it. You can see Arnold's arm turning the phonograph that plays Reveries. We hear it again when Arnold is creating Dolores at the beginning of episode 10, and again when Dolores remembers what happened to Arnold later in the same episode. Finally, when Ford is wrapping up to the end of his speech in that final episode. It is incredibly subtle, but it's so cool music is used to foreshadow plot points like that. Until I started researching for this video, I had no idea how much of the music was arrangements of popular music. It's really cool how they were able to do that. Believe it or not, I think one of the greatest musical moments is an arrangement, a cover really, of Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones from the 1st episode. I really love how well it fits the show. It definitely has a very Western feel to it. From the trumpet line at the beginning, to the instrumentation with guitars and percussion similar to a Western score. I think it's a fantastic example of arranging music to fit the tone of the scene, and I also really enjoy how seamlessly he interweaved his own original music with the theme. It's great. This is a little bit of a smaller one, but yet another example of foreshadowing happens with the theme for the Man in Black. As William slowly becomes the Man in Black, you can hear snippets of this theme. It becomes more and more familiar to the theme, which builds to the reveal that William is the Man in Black. It's yet another subtle and small way to make the show even better. Anyway, if you've made it this far into the video, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please help me out by liking, sharing, and subscribing. I'm always looking for more ideas, so let me know if there's something you want to hear me talk about. If you have an opinion on what I'm talking about, please leave a comment below or hit me up on Twitter. As always, I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and have a great day.